Hey friend, let's have a real conversation. If you ever feel like you're stuck living paycheck to paycheck, or like money disappears the moment it hits your account, you're not alone. And you're not bad with money. Sometimes we need to just shine the light on the patterns that aren't serving us anymore. Well, if you're new here, my name is Salisa. I'm a cash budgeter. I've been doing cash budgeting for about 4 years now. And I also run an Etsy shop that sells cute and colorful savings challenges. I thought it was time that we have a little conversation about the 10 broke girl habits that we all need to unlearn. I've made some financial mistakes. I've had moments where I didn't know where my money went, where I felt overwhelmed, and even moments when I just avoided looking at my bank account altogether. But over time, I realized it truly comes down to habits that I didn't realize were holding me back. So today, I want to share the 10 broke girl habits that I had to unlearn, some of which I'm still working on. This video is not to judge or shame, but to help us all grow. Because I truly think we're all connected working on these habits. Unlearning these habits, that is. Because once I started shifting these habits, that's when things truly started to change for me. I have some errands that I need to run today, but I thought while I'm doing it, I can talk to you guys about the 10 broke girl habits. But out of these 10 broke girl habits, some of them I'm still working on. And I'll make sure that I point that out to you so you don't feel like you're alone. Listen, we're all trying to do better together. So yeah, let's discuss the 10 broke girl habits that we need to unlearn so we can do better with our finances through the rest of 2025. Number 1 would be budgeting when money is tight. Now, this is one that I think I've actually gotten over. I've unlearned this habit. I used to be the person who only budgeted whenever I was struggling, and I would try to come up with a budget so I can come out of that struggle. But now I actually realize that budgeting is a tool that helps you even when you're on track. Budgeting regularly gives you peace. So even when things are going well, I now started to budget. And for the summer, I didn't really do a monthly budget, but I was doing like a budget as money came in. I'm going to get back into the habit of doing my monthly budget, especially now that I took my nursing job and I'm going to be working full time with regular paychecks. Over the summer, I didn't have regular checks, and I think that's why. But now that I have regular checks coming in, I'm going back to my monthly budget and keeping up with budgeting overall, because I believe through budgeting, it helps you to stay on track where you are. So this happens to be one of the habits that I've already unlearned. Number 2 is about having no emergency fund, but having tons of subscriptions. Listen. I will be the first to tell you that I have some unnecessary subscriptions. Number 1, last video, you guys came with me in order to cancel a subscription at Planet Fitness. I had two, and ask me how many times I've been to the gym in the last 6 months. Okay. It's very easy to sign up for subscriptions because these are the things that we enjoy and things that we think we're going to use. But later, that little bit of money could have actually went into our emergency fund and helped to build a safety net for future things that are going to happen, you know? I've recently been trying to cancel a subscription to Fabletics. When I tell you I have to drive through the storm and the rain in order to cancel that membership. I have been on hold for over 30 minutes and couldn't get through to someone in order to make the cancellation. But then once I got through, they convinced me just to keep it for a little bit longer. You guys, I've been pausing the membership for probably about 6 months. It's time for me to make another call, and I've been avoiding it. Now, I have an emergency fund, one that's not as strong as I would like it to be, one that I am working on, but I do have unnecessary subscriptions as well. And I'm unlearning the habit of having subscriptions without an emergency fund, but I'm learning to take the necessary steps to cancel the subscriptions that I do not need, because those small leaks add up to a pool of waste. And yeah, I just don't want to be a part of that. So I have work to do on this one. Okay, we'll go through one more, and then I'm going to go get on the road because I got a couple of things to do, and I thought I'd be chit-chatting with you while I'm running my errands. This is like the most fun type of video for me to do because A, I get my errands done, but B, I get to have a conversation. I feel like I'm talking to friends. Anyway, number 3 is spending your entire check on payday. Now, hold on. I know if you're a cash budgeter, then you probably go with the zero budgeting method where you budget everything down to $0. And in that way, you've spent your whole paycheck, but in appropriate ways. I'm not talking about that. No, ma'am. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what I used to do. And truly, I have unlearned this habit. But what I used to do, you guys, I see somebody pulling up and I'm like, am I in trouble? Maybe I should move. Anyway, what I used to do, which is the moment my check hit, I would spend every dollar. There was nothing going towards savings. There was nothing other than bills being paid. I was actually spending every dollar I had on payday. I no longer do that. Now I see the importance of budgeting down to a $0, a zero-based method, but accounting for some for savings and future spending as far as sinking funds. So yeah. Okay, you guys, somebody's right there. I don't know who it is, but it's freaking me out. And now I'm gonna have to call you guys back. I'm going to get me a coffee. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm low energy. I probably don't feel like it to you, but I'm headed to get me a coffee so I could pick up my spirits. And then I'll call you guys back with number 4 and 5. I'm gonna call you right back. Pick up the phone. Okay, I was parked at an industrial park, and so maybe that was security. I don't know. But anyway, I'm headed to get me a coffee, and I'm going to call you guys back. Okay, hold on. Let me clip this on here. I hate that these things kind of drag down my shirts. Look. That's why I don't like, I'd rather hold it. But I need to order myself a Starbucks coffee because I can't stand to sit in that line. So hold on one second. Let me order my coffee and then, should I get a strawberry matcha? Nah. Okay, I'm gonna get a coffee. And then once I do, I'll pick up with you guys. This video is not sponsored, but I forgot that I had a Fetch rewards card that was available for use for Starbucks. I had exchanged it in over a week ago, and I'm just transferring it over to my Starbucks account so I can get my coffee for free today. If you guys don't know about Fetch, you can earn gift cards by just scanning receipts. I'll leave my code down in the description. Okay, this is bothering me because it's holding my sweater down, but I went ahead and placed my order for my Starbucks drink, and it says I have 8 to 10 minutes to wait. I guess this is about as long as I would have been waiting in the drive-thru, so I'm not even going to be upset about it. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to broke girl habit number 4, which is the one that I struggle with, I think, the most. Well, wait, that might not be true because I struggle with a couple of them. But anyway, number 4 is confusing I deserve it with I can afford it. Ooh, that one hit so hard for me. Listen, you absolutely deserve nice things. Don't ever convince yourself you don't. But when we spend from emotions and not intentions, that's when we can leave ourselves stressed out. And I am guilty of that. I've noticed that whenever I spend, when I am giving myself permission with a plan, I feel so much better about it. And I'm not the super planner girl. Like, I don't plan out my every move. Sorry. But I do think if you budget ahead and you start to save small amounts in sinking funds, you can end up with a little buffer amount. So when you do have these periods when you want to spend, you don't have to feel like YOLO. Doesn't that sound reminiscent of something I said recently? I literally YOLO'd this past vacation. So this is one that I'm struggling with, but I am realizing it is a broke girl habit that I must unlearn. Yeah. Prepare instead of spending emotionally. Number 5 is one that I have overcome, but I'm telling you, it took me some time. And that is, wait, there goes a Starbucks employee. They're just walking by and I'm just talking. They're like, this girl's literally talking to herself. Okay, back on track. Number 5 is avoiding bank alerts and overall just avoiding your bank account. I was so guilty of this one. I recently have been really attentive to any alerts that come across my phone about my bank account, and I actually log in. But one of my broke girl habits that I truly had to unlearn was stop avoiding my account, because I am the type of person that kind of puts it out of sight, out of mind, continues to swipe and reconciles it all later. And that is a terrible habit. Facing your numbers gives you clarity, and clarity gives you power. Don't forget that. Okay, number 6. Guilty as charged. If you're new here, just know I am an ultra foodie. So the majority of my money gets spent around food. Takeout, restaurants, traveling to try new food experiences, things like that. So number 6 broke girl habit that I'm trying to unlearn is no meal plan equals constant takeout. And it's true. Whenever I don't plan ahead, like for meals, and I'm not really big on meal planning, but I'm saying when I don't have an idea of what I'm going to be cooking, therefore the items are in my refrigerator, my constant go-to is takeout. That's actually what's happening today. Like in a minute, I'm about to go get my son some Popeye's chicken. And the reason why, I think he changed it to American Deli. But the reason why I'm getting it is because I haven't went to the grocery store with a meal plan in mind. And we just got back from vacation. There's nothing in the refrigerator. So there's really no quick eats for him. And instead of me sitting down, coming up with a meal plan and going to the grocery store with grocery store funds, I'm instead going to hop to American Deli and get him a 10-piece hot wing and some fries, okay? But I am going to have to do that sometime today because we need dinner and we need like food for the rest of the week, right? Meal plans are important. And even if it's not the super detailed one where you're writing down, for lunch, I'm going to have a chicken breast with broccoli with rice. Like, if it's not that type of meal plan or meal prep, if you at least have in your mind, like on Tuesday, we can have meatloaf. On Wednesday, we can make homemade pizzas. Then you have the items in your refrigerator that you can go to. And here I am preaching to you because I'm preaching to myself. I need to go to the grocery store, okay? Takeout can easily become your default. That's all I'm saying. And in order to save money in that category, you really have to try to plan ahead and have groceries available. So I'm talking to me, okay? I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me. Let's move on. Broke girl habit number 7 can be treating your debit card like a security blanket. For me, it's not just about my debit card, which it used to be, but now I've been doing it for my credit card under the guise of, well, I'm getting points, so I'll just swipe my card and I'll reconcile it later. But it truly can be a broke girl habit that has to be unlearned because it's just a slippery slope. There's not a way to keep track exactly of what you're spending on your card. You just begin to swipe, and later when you go to reconcile it, maybe you don't have enough. I'm going to be honest though, this is where cash envelopes and sinking funds come into play and why they are so helpful. It's because you have cash in these little small categories that you can go to take money from. And when I'm in town, I truly, truly do that. When I went out of town, okay, well, she got a little out of line, but when I'm in town, I actually do what I'm supposed to be doing. And it has helped. If you struggle with this broke girl habit, try cash. It really will help you to feel more in control when you have small categories already established because you've saved for certain things that you're going to need to spend on. Just try it. Okay, that has been about 8 minutes, and I believe my coffee ought to be ready. So let's head into Starbucks. Let me go see if I can pick up my coffee. Got the good. Okay, that was easy enough. Now I need to go run to the bank because I got to put quite a bit of cash into the bank to take care of some expenses that I spent when I was on vacation. And then I need to go pick up my son's lunch. So let's head out. Oh no, because I only give you a certain amount of recordings for the month.
Connection established. Would you like to recover your video? Yes, please recover. My video.
You think
I just need to, figure it out. But that's why I was saying that because we're on the same plane with.
Okay, I think I left you guys out of a stop. Wait, let me turn the car off because I did make a run to the bank, but I didn't actually film anything there. And I was going to stop in the parking lot, but I was talking to my friend Tara from Journey to Wisdom and Wealth. And I was like, let me finish that conversation with her. So now I have arrived at American Deli. And if you don't know anything about Atlanta, wings are king. Jace wants some wings and I'm going to go in here and get him some lunch. But before I do, I thought let's go ahead and finish this video off and talk about the last 3 broke girl habits that I'm trying to work through and hopefully you can relate. Number 8 is saying I'll figure it out later with money. Ooh, y'all. This is one that I seriously just did while I was on vacation. I was like, I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out later. I was just swiping my credit card, earning points, yes, but swiping my credit card and feeling like I'll figure it out later. Yeah, that's not a good habit, okay? It's a terrible habit. I have to break it. Later used to be my favorite word. I've gotten better about it, but later comes all too fast, doesn't it? And I was going to take my sinking funds with me on vacation, but it just seemed like quite a bit to take. But I do realize if I would have just jot down the numbers that I had in every single sinking fund, that 15 minutes could have changed quite a bit about what I spent while I was on vacation and saved me a lot of stress later. So yeah, No more of that. We have to break that habit. Number 9 is buying cheap instead of buying smart. This is one I've totally gotten over. I used to grab the cheapest thing, thinking that I was saving, right? So like I would go for the cheapest clothes, the cheapest appliances, the cheapest repairs. No, not anymore. Because replacing those low quality items over and over again is actually more money being spent in the long run. So now I try to choose like mid-range quality items. I look for value now, not just the price. And that's important. I think if you want to save money, you don't always have to buy the cheapest thing. You're looking for things that will hold up in the long run. And the last broke girl habit that I had to break was living like I made more than I did. And I see a lot of my girlfriends, like my close girlfriends, that have problems with this as well. I don't know. Some kind of way when you're a nurse, you're expected that you have like a ton of money and you're like, oh, I can just pick up this extra shift. Oh, I can just do this overtime. And next thing you know, you're living beyond your means. Lifestyle creep is real. But real peace for me started when I tried to stop looking a certain way and started aligning my lifestyle with my actual income. There's still some changes that I'm making in regards to this because I'm going to change the way that I structure my business income. I'm going to change the way that I live off of my business income. Like I've been living off of business income and I don't have to do that anymore now that I have nursing pay. But instead of living to the lifestyle of nursing pay plus business income, I want to restructure some things and truly just live off of my nursing pay and then work on business separate. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'll bring more about that later. But I do think when you align what you're actually earning with the lifestyle that you're living, that's where true freedom begins. So that is the 10th and final broke girl habit that has to be changed. Yeah. Listen, if any of these habits sound familiar to you, just know you're not alone. I've had to learn, unlearn, and relearn again a lot of these habits over the years. Some of them, like I told you, I'm still working on myself. I'm still growing. Let's keep the conversation open, talking about money in a way that feels honest, supportive, and doable. If this video helped you at all, then comment this one single emoji right here letting me know that you made it all the way to the end. And let me know which one you're actually working through right now, because I know I'm not alone either. And let me know if you want a part 2, because I'm sure I can think of a few other broke girl habits that I'm working through and we can work on it together. But for right now, I appreciate you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and then comment down below which habit you're working on. And I will talk to you guys all very, very soon with more interesting conversations to come. All right, I'll talk to you later. Take care. You're all in my grill. Wow, wow.